welcome back. Joining me in the studio is Calvin Neufeld. And Calvin's going to be presenting a talk on suicide at the Perth and District Union Library on Saturday, August 23rd, and it's from 10 until noon, Calvin?
Yes.
Okay, well, thank you for sitting down with me. So this presentation is going to be on suicide?
Yes, it's heavy.
It's a very heavy topic.
Very heavy. I don't know if I've ever been so apprehensive going into a talk. Usually I'm very confident. I enjoy giving talks.
Yes.
It's just a really fulfilling experience, and you get a lot of good energy, and you really get to the root of things. But I've never taken on a subject. I can't think of a harder subject to take on, actually.
Well, I have to hand it to you. It is
Yes,
a very, very
yes.
heavy because, your words mean a lot out there, don't they?
Yes.
And you have to be careful as to what you're saying and
There's a
whatnot.
tremendous responsibility that comes with this.
Yes.
It has to be done just right. There's such deep sensitivities and such deep pains, losses. Everybody's been touched by this. Everybody.
Well, Calvin, you're going to be speaking about your experience, though, are you not?
That
Your
will be a
thoughts
part of it.
Of suicide
Yeah.
and of this nature?
Whenever I talk about anything, I try to bring it into my experience.
Yes.
Because
yes.
that's what I know. So
Right.
that's what I can touch on. It's not abstract. So it's not talking about this in the realm of concepts, but rather direct lived experience. I have experience with suicidality, with mental illness. And I think that by looking at it without fear, then we can really gain some insight and some clarity, which is, I think, what we kind of struggle with, particularly around such a difficult topic as suicide, is understanding.
Yes.
Both for people who are suicidal and for people who live with suicidality and a loved one.
So this is the first, as you said, the first talk on suicide. I envision that you're going to be speaking a lot more in other engagements because of the subject matter itself.
Well, I'm really pleasantly surprised, I suppose, by the response that I've received so far. People are rallying around this. We need to talk about it. The time is now to talk about it. And so I'm getting a lot of support and a lot of interest. I don't know whether I will give this talk multiple times. I never know when I give a new talk. If somebody asks me to come and give it somewhere else, I'm happy to do it. I go and give it again. But some talks you think probably will be a one-off. But in all of my talks, just because how do you do a talk on suicide multiple times and keep it really fresh and relevant? I'm going to videotape it. It will be on my website as well. So it'll be there as an ongoing resource. And hopefully if people are interested in having me come and talk more about it, I'm happy to go and talk to any group. I don't charge any money for anything that I do. But with all of my talks, I talk about bullying, sexual and gender diversity, telling my own story flat out. And in all of these talks, I talk about suicide. It touches every topic.
It does, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of, depression.
Yes.
Next step is usually
That's right.
suicide.
A way out. Yep.
Yes, and we are hearing in the news daily about individuals,
yes.
especially the younger generation too.
Yes.
They just do not know how to handle
Yes.
what is being given to them.
Yes.
So
we need to find our way through
yes,
as individuals and as a community. We all have a responsibility. We all have a role to play in the mental health of everybody around us, everybody we're connected to. And for young people especially, not being able to see a way through. So if somebody can, then you have to share that. And it's that way through, because if you can see it, and even if you can't see it yet, knowing that it's possible sometimes is enough to carry someone through.
you're absolutely right. Thank you, Calvin, for dropping by and talking to us about this event, this presentation that you're having in Perth. And I encourage the public to definitely go and listen to your story and to ask questions.
Have the dialogue.
Let's bring this out from underneath the rug.
Bring it out of the closet.
You got it.
Absolutely.
Thank you very
Thank
much.
you.
We'll be right back with more.